men are very interesting creatures, and I have done some deep dive into what it's like to be in prison. I've watched some channels of men who've actually been to prison, and then I have just gone through the comments and done lots and lots of research into what it's like being in prison, what they eat in prison, and how they change their body composition from when they enter to when they leave. When you own a prison, I'm assuming that you want to be as profitable as possible. So the first thing you want to do is not spend a lot of money. So when you're preparing to do a shopping list for the meals, you're going to want the most cost-effective food, which is carbohydrates, especially when you're talking about starches, okay? Second, you do not want to be the prison where everybody goes and gets sick. So you don't want your prisoners dying from heart disease, cardiac arrest, or having any kind of like blood clotting, blood pressure problems. So yeah, you're not going to be feeding them a lot of fat and protein, are you? Because you don't want any problems in your prison. So I find that also a very interesting thought pattern. Now, what is happening in prison? You are eating 3 to 4 meals a day. Another thing that's happening in prison, you are going to sleep every single day at the same time, and lights are out and there's no distractions. You have to rest and recover. And that's usually around 9-10 o'clock from what I can gather from the comments and the testimonies that I have been through. And you have this drive. You are a man. You have testosterone. And now that you're in a very stressful type environment, that actually drives the testosterone up because you don't want to have your cheeks clapped by some other dude. So what do? Well, I want to get shredded. I want to get lean. I want to get strong, and I want to work out. So these guys are working out for 3 to 4 hours a day. And on top of that, they're actually like studying and learning and going to the library and doing things that they never had the opportunity to do when they were on the outside. So they really don't go through some type of hero's journey when they go to prison. So what are they eating when they're in prison?
All right, so the prison diet is pretty much just carbs. I don't know why that added up to me getting the size that I did when I was in prison.
They're having primarily carbohydrates, and it is pretty bland as far as I can tell from the testimonies that I have gathered. I watched another creator who is a food creator, and he had a shorts series of prisons from all over the world and making the food that they ate. Every single country on every single plate had primarily carbohydrates, sometimes not even any protein sources, sometimes not even any fat sources, and it was very bland.
According to the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, the official dinner is shockingly simple: white rice, a boiled potato, and a watery broth that's basically hot sadness. Protein is incredibly unlikely. Even vegetables are a rare occurrence.
So these guys are getting lean and shredded and bulking up from carbohydrates. They're not bulking up because they're having protein powders. They're not bulking up because they're on the carnivore diet. They're not bulking up because they're calorie restricting. These dudes are getting in the best shape of their life from carbohydrates and from an environment that is not comfortable. So comfort is killing us slowly in the sense of it is diminishing that spark, that testosterone, that it really puts you in a position to just be able to go buy it, just be able to go get it without even a thought of how you're going to do that. It's just, I go to work, I get the money, I go beep my card. And that puts you in a loop of a very comfortable cycle, which essentially lowers that T. So these guys are in a stressful environment, and I'm not saying that everybody should live with this mindset. I know a lot of women won't really understand why I'm talking about this in a sense, but I find it very fascinating because I think as a teenager, a lot of guys did read books that were like how to be shredded like the guys in prison, and now we have YouTube and everything else. So the youth is looking to this like, how do I get the most attractive physical body with the genetics that I was born with? So what can I do to be shredded and lean? And it's going to be the high carbohydrates, lots of sleep, lots of recovery, and it's going to be maybe in a little bit of an uncomfortable environment. Like they're working out sometimes 3-4 hours a day from the testimonies that I'm reading. And it's very, very interesting in the sense that they're doing like just push up after push up after push up after push up, or pull up after pull up after pull up. And it's very calisthenics type body weight work. It's not just these juiced up dudes in the gym doing their 12 reps for 4 or 5 sets and then just going in the mirror and flexing. It's like it's very interesting to me that these workouts are just like, I've got nothing else to do, so I am going to work on me. And not a lot of people get an opportunity like that in their life. And it's interesting to hear and see these testimonies of these guys that just like enjoy the simple things in life. Once all of this comfort is stripped away from you, you really get to know who you are and what you're made of. Another testimony of why a man thought that he got so shredded and so lean, of course, was eating 3-4 times consistently every day, high carb meals. It was getting enough sleep, but it was also retaining his semen. So this has something to do with hiring or giving yourself a higher level of testosterone. And a lot of people might think that I'm crazy or I'm wrong, and how can I be talking about this? I'm not a man. But I have done some research, and I think it's fascinating to see that people love the phenomena of the prisoner physique, but they aren't really looking at the diet that much. And it's not easy to get steroids, as far as I can tell from what these testimonies say. And when you have money in prison, you're spending it on food. You're not spending it on fucking steroids and protein powder. So these guys want to get the ramens. They want to get their little cans of tuna because they think I still need that protein. But the majority of their diet, every single meal, is carbohydrates.
You know, what they tell us how you need a gram of protein to be your body weight. For me personally, never added up. So a quick tip, you know, it's not a tip, but a story. When I was in prison, you know, like I was so hungry that I would stand next to the trash can, and as you were coming to throw your tray away, like, yo bro, let me done with that, yum, 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 I'd eat that. I do that for like 15 guys coming through, and it was just junk food, like noodles, rice, or greens.
And it's bland and it's boring and it's not exciting, but it gives them the vitality, it gives them the energy to do these workouts every single day.
Work out. Let me show y'all my gains. Jasmine rice, serving size, to multiple grain rice. I get all my stuff from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I still mess with the soups. Can't go wrong with peanut butter and jelly. You gotta have the grits.
And they have time to maybe study something that they never did on the outside. So they really are going through a hard time, but hard times create strong men. So the less options that you have, the more that you are drawn to take action. So they're not thinking about like, what am I gonna eat today? Somebody cooks for them, it's all done, it's just put in front of them, and it's like, this is the only option I have, so I am going to eat it. What I think everybody can learn from this prison lifestyle or this prison diet is that consistency matters, and sleep matters, and eating 3-4 times a day and having that kind of same meal every single day will get you the results that you're looking for, because you're not deviated by the endless amounts of options and comforts that are in this world. So if you know that you're gonna just have the same thing every day, and you know that you're gonna go to bed at 9 o'clock every day because you need to rest and recover, and you know that you're gonna put some time and effort into your body because that's all you really have, This is all you really have in this world, in this material world at this time. That's what you have to work on. You have your mind and your body, and these guys are doing it by pushing themselves in a calisthenic body weight kind of way, and then they go study and they learn something about themselves, about the world, about history, about whatever they're looking to do. And it's very interesting that that kind of focus really brings out a higher testosterone, stronger type man. And they essentially aren't really complaining about, some of them saying like, oh, it's the carb, we just had junk food, it was just carbs. Well, the carbs gave them energy. The carbs gave them that steady glucose. The carbs gave them, imagine they were all on fruits and starches. They would be even more shredded. Like, they would be even leaner. It's so interesting to me that this prison lifestyle is basically a sleep, water, sugar lifestyle, and they're forced to do it. There is no like, oh, I'm just gonna go party and have a drink on the weekend. That's not it. And yeah, they're not having alcohol either. And yeah, okay, they're having their like little ciggies once in a while. And like, listen, I don't know what it's like in prison. I've never been to prison, and I certainly don't want to be in a prison full of men. But there is something to be learned here about our society and how we approach the high carb, low fat, plant-based lifestyle. I think it's something we can learn a lot from these people's testimonies, from this masculine testimony, in the sense of like, it's consistent and it's unwavering and they get it done. And when they go in and when they come out, they look like completely different people, and they are completely different people because they were in a high stress, high testosterone environment, and it can make or break you. Not everybody comes out leaner, fitter, and better because they have been broken mentally, physically, and they didn't, I don't know, have the strength to get through. I'm not speaking about them, but the majority, from what I can understand from the comments and testimonies and videos that I have watched, is very interesting that they come out with a better outlook on life, in the sense of they're not distracted. They're not distracted by all the glamour in this world. They just want to have a simple life. They just want to have their food. They just want to have their workouts. Men are very simple creatures in the sense of like, they don't want things to be complicated. Women drive off of feeling, and like, it's much more, they're looking for excitement in different ways, where men just want to chill and like something like simple, small jokes and will bring joy to men. So I think men can like really enjoy each other's company in a sense when they all are locked in together, without the distraction of women and without the distraction of chasing tail and everything else. So why I think everybody should kind of eat like they're in prison is because it's consistent, it's simple, it prioritizes sleep, it prioritizes eating enough, and it prioritizes some form of exercise and self-reflection and development in oneself. There's a striving to do something, to learn something, to be something, to become something better than what you were the day before. So I think everybody can learn from that, man or woman. And it's that high carb lifestyle. It's that high carb mentality, and it's that vitality and brightness of them getting it done every single day, because if they don't do something, you will go crazy in there, I'm pretty sure. That's how you lose yourself, is if you don't initiate yourself to do something about it. So the people that are on the sugar diet that don't want to do anything, I don't understand that kind of mentality, and I think you have lost a little bit of what it's like to be a real man or a real woman. So I implore you to get out of your comfort zone and do something. Otherwise, you're never going to grow, you're never going to change, and you're not going to achieve the goals that you want. So the point of this video is that there really is no excuses into getting things that you want in this life, especially because you're not stuck in the four walls of a prison. You're in this world, and And what you are up against is the glamour and the distractions and the keeping up with the Joneses and what society thinks is normal. But in reality, like, nature is brutal. You know, nature is brutal and will discard you if you are not strong, useful. And this goes for men and women. So be better, do better, and you will be a lot happier. And I think you will gain a lot of confidence in knowing that you can achieve what you want in this life because you are capable. So I'll leave the video at that. Thank you so much for being here. Comments, questions, leave them down below, and I will see you in the next one.
The nice thing about the prison diet is it's so strict. So anything you add to it, like coffee creamer or milk or cereal, or subtract from it, you easily see what happens to the human body when you add or subtract these things. I used to train guys all the time, just telling people, yo, cut creamer out of your coffee, you'll lose 10 pounds. It's just simple things.